Hey, what's going on, guys? Jason here, and in a bit of a reflective type of mood today. So I wanted to make a video that pretty much gives you guys 5 things that I've done. Let me get a thumbnail. 5 things that have catapulted me from not knowing anything about internet marketing, e-commerce, self-publishing, or any other business that I've participated in, to selling millions of dollars of products online in the last 8 years without having any resources or mentors. I should say I had resources which I've learned myself, and I want to share them with you. I want to share these 5 principles that personally I've used to sell millions of dollars of products online, such as, ebooks, such as my own products on my own website, such as coaching services, such as products that I've created. And as I thought about these things, these 5 things, they all are pretty much intertwined. So let me jump right into it. I've got a list down below, and it's actually inspired by a book that I am currently reading called The One Thing, which is actually even out of the binder. Actually, this is off the book because I don't like having that on the book while I read it. So the number one thing that you guys need to do in order to sell millions of dollars of products online, if that is your intention, is to commit to doing one thing. Don't bounce around. Have a set determination of what you are going to do. In other words, if you're an e-commerce guy or girl, or if you are a self-publisher, or if you're an affiliate marketer, or if you are running whatever, a coffee shop, commit to being the best at it. Commit to mastering that before you move on to anything else. I often talk about that first road, that first quest up that mountain is going to be tough. It's going to be filled with many different obstacles, but once you start to overcome that, once you start to become a master at your craft, then it all becomes very easy. So I started out, I mastered e-commerce, and then I moved on to self-publishing, and then I moved on to creating courses, and then I moved on to coaching, and then I moved on to other avenues. But I didn't just start bouncing around like a pinball machine. I stuck to one thing, and then I started to move on. So that's the first essential thing. You guys have to commit, and you have to decide to doing one thing and being the best at it. Don't go into this with the attitude, oh, I'm just going to throw my hat in the ring and see what happens. You have to commit. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about anything. Commit to it and stick with it. Good things will happen. Number 2, own your own brand. There's a lot of people out there making a ton of money on Amazon FBA, even self-publishing, even any other thing. Out there, eBay, Etsy shops, you name it. There's ways to get your product out there. In my opinion, those services should be an addition to your own brand or service. Don't just solely rely on those as your only income source. I can tell you guys from personal experience, when you put all your eggs in one basket, bad things can happen. And if you don't have your own entity that you own, if you don't have your own website that you own, or your own personal shop or anything like that you own that nobody can take away from you, then you can set yourself up for potential problems. For example, if you have an Amazon FBA web store and for whatever reason your Amazon store gets shut down, which happens quite a bit, unfortunately, well, guess what? Now you're SOL. Now you have to create something again. So I always start with step number 1 or step number 2. Build your own thing. Build your own business that you can own, that nobody can take from you guys. It sounds simple, but guess what? The simplicity, don't mistake the simplicity for the effectiveness of this tip. The next one is build a list. If you do not start out building your email list right away, you are going to regret it. Trust me, learn from my mistakes. I regretted it. I sold a ton of products from my e-commerce website without building a proper list. And I don't even want to know how much that cost me, but I guarantee you that probably cost me at least $100,000 to $300,000 worth of sales just by not collecting an email address. So that was a huge, crucial mistake that I actually learned the hard way, and I want you guys to not have to learn that the hard way. So let me tell you guys something very simple here. When you start this business, if you've already started it, start right now. Stop the damn video, hit pause, and go set up an email list. It's very simple. Collect emails from your people, okay? Not just sales. I'm talking about set up lead generation tools where maybe a guy hits your website, they're not gonna buy your product, but you can at least capture their email address so you can market to them later and build a relationship, and then they can come back and buy from you guys. That is a very important thing. Not a lot of people talk about it. They want to tell you all these other little tips and stuff like that. But really the heart of your business is your customers. And if you have that email address, it is a valuable, valuable thing you have in your back pocket. So, and then we can go into covering, you know, in some later videos, you know, touching up with them and keeping in touch with them rather. But right now, really focus on getting an email address. Very simple. The free report is always just a go-to if you're struggling for ways to get it, but get an email address. What are some other things that have helped me sell millions of dollars of products online? Video marketing. If I could point to one promotional tool above all else, it's video marketing. Forget social media, forget, you know, paid traffic, forget all this other stuff. Connecting with your audience is obviously the most important, and there's no better way to do it than YouTube. And, you know, there's some other ways you can do it as well via video. Periscope is becoming more and more popular. But if you have a business, if you plan on starting a business, if you want $1 million business, you guys have to take advantage of video marketing. You guys have seen my channel. You've seen what I do, and it's a very small scale compared to what other people are capable of doing and what other people are doing with million subscribers and stuff like that. I'm not to that level yet, but I hope to get there. And video marketing is a huge, huge way. There's, again, no better way to connect and put a really personal touch on your business. It doesn't really matter what you're selling. You could be selling yourself. You could be selling your, you know, you could be selling a product. You could be selling anything, but it's very simple to, you know, if you're having a product, if my product is these dry erase pens, I can make a 20-second video. You know, obviously Google owns YouTube. It gets shot up really high in the search rankings. Barely anybody does it. You know, speaking not, there's a lot of people who do it, but a lot of your competitors won't jump in front of the camera. So if you can do that and build a connection with your audience, it's a key, crucial component to doing this. And the fifth and final thing that has really been a great lesson for me is the 80-20 principle and doubling down, kind of combining these two kind of principles into my businesses. So the 80-20 principle, I know you guys are pretty much all familiar with that. Basically 80% of your success is going to come from 20% of your products or services, and doubling down, which is very simple. When something's working, continue to work at that particular process. So for example, on my e-commerce website, going through the data, I found that basically the 80-20 principle was spot on. 20% of my products result in 80% of my sales across the board. So what I do, I create more products similar to that. I sell more products similar to that. Same thing with my self-publishing business, my products, coaching services, and all of that other things. So when it comes to getting the most out of this, how does that apply to you? Well, very, very simply. Don't focus on these little things. Don't focus on stuff that isn't going to get the most bang for your buck. I oftentimes see people when they're going to start a business or they're working on their business, they're telling me all these things that they're doing, and a lot of it is just fluff. A lot of it's just kind of cute. It looks cool. You know, maybe I'm gonna set up a LinkedIn profile. Maybe I'm gonna do this. Maybe I'm gonna do that. And they're spending all this time and they're not focusing on the core principles that have worked not only for me, but for many millions of people creating their businesses online and offline as well. So, you know, again, focus on what works. Know that you're going to get, you know, basically you're going to get most of your money, 80% of your money on 20% of the actions that you take. So focus on the stuff that's really important, guys. Don't focus on just stuff that isn't going to get you a good return on your investment. And most of you guys know what that is. You know, if you're spending a ton of time on social media and stuff like that, wasting time spinning your wheels, you know, and then you look back at the end of the year and you're like, man, you know, where did my time go? You know, we'll think about what you're doing day to day. But so let's recap, guys, to put a nice little bow on this. So number one, again, we're going to commit to doing one thing. And that's what I did. And again, I'm speaking just solely from what I've done and just people that I've talked to and stuff that I've studied. But you have to commit to doing that one thing. Again, I'm checking this book out. I highly suggest you guys do as well. Gary Keller is the author of this book. It's a really good read. Not a lot of fluff, a lot of really good stuff in that book. And so you're going to do that. You're going to commit. You're going to say, you know what? Maybe I've tried 20 businesses over the last 5 years. And I haven't got anything to show for it because, you know, you can't master 20 things, okay? I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of genius level you're operating at, but most people cannot master 20 things. All successful businesses typically start out as one great business and then they start to branch out. So number two, I want you guys to really think about owning your own brand, whether you are your brand or whether a product is your brand, whether you're offline, online. Think about having your own brand. Number three, build that email list up from the ground up. Start from day one, commit to saying, I'm going to build a massive customer base. Trust me, guys, when I say this, when you treat your list well, when you email your list good offers, when you email your list good content, when you want to ask them for something, you will get that investment back. There's a reason a lot of really well-known marketers call their list their personal ATM. It's a little sleazy, but it is true. When you do want to, you know, need some money, Jeff Walker talked about in his product launch formula. One time he had to do some renovations for his basement, I believe, or his house, and he said, you know, I needed the money, so I sent an offer to my list and I got all the money I needed to do these renovations. So you know, he's the guru of list building and launches and stuff like that. So number four, video marketing. Forget a lot of the other stuff. Again, we're focusing on that 80-20. We're focusing on the stuff that works. Video marketing. If you have a business and you're not doing video marketing, you're leaving money on the table. And again, the 80-20 principle, understand that this is a real thing. If you don't know what it is, look it up, just Google it. It's also called the Pareto principle. I believe an Italian mathematician came up with this in the 1800s, I believe, and it applies to almost all areas of life. And then again, to kind of caveat with that, kind of piggyback on that, doubling down. Take what works and be relentless with it. If you're finding something that works, pound at it. Go relentless with it. Don't just say, oh, that worked, let me go on to something else. Investigate why it worked, you know, and just go double down with it. And I guarantee you guys can start building a very successful business. So those are the, you know, honestly, the 5 things that I can really, and I really thought about this, the 5 things that have really helped me sell millions of dollars of products online over the course of the last 8 years without having any connections, without having any formal training, just kind of going, you know, learning as I have gone. And I wanted to share that with you guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you have not already subscribed. There's going to be plenty of fresh content coming on this channel. It's going to be just a great place for entrepreneurs to connect, build, and really start to help grow your businesses. I've set up a free mastermind group. I've got about 1,000 members on that. I want to invite you guys to go ahead and go down to the description and click on that, ask for permission to join. We'll go ahead and get you set up, and you'll be able to connect with thousands of people across the world that are like-minded, positive people to help grow your business. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and we will talk to you guys again soon. Thank you very much.